You don't have to be a climate sceptic to conclude that the government's energy policy is bonkers. You just have to listen to the Energy Minister's own words. Last week, Chris Bowen outlined the challenge of meeting Labour's 2030 emissions reduction target. The aim is to reduce emissions by 43% compared to 2005 by 2030, which means he's just got 7 years and 10 weeks to do it. Bowen said we'll need to install some 3,500 7-megawatt wind turbines. That's 40 a month, every month from now until 2030, each one as tall as the Sydney Harbour Bridge. At the same time, we'll need 22,500-watt solar panels to be installed every day for the next 8 years. 60 million in all, or 2.4 for every man, woman and child in Australia. If you laid 60 million solar panels end to end, they stretch 3 times around the globe. All this supposes we can buy the things in the first place. Polysilicon wafers are in short supply and 95% come from China. Anybody with an ounce of common sense will tell you this can't be done. There's simply no way we can install 3 times as much renewable power in the next 8 years as we have in the last 20. Jeff Dimery, the head of Alinta, has somewhat more experience in the energy game than Bowen. He said last week that we were on the course for an energy transition train wreck. Dimery told the Australian Financial Review, "I personally don't believe we can achieve the transition based on what we're seeing to date. I think we're heading for failure." Australian Competition and Consumer Commission Chair Gina Cass-Gottlieb told the recent parliamentary committee household energy bills had risen by $300 since April. Dimery predicts that energy costs will rise by at least 35% more in 2023. Jim Chalmers, Albanese's treasurer, says energy is the most problematic aspect of our inflation problem over the course of the next 6 or 9 months. Yet Bowen is refusing to budge. He told a conference in Sydney last week that, quote, "Getting more renewables in the system will mean lower power prices. I don't think that should be such a controversial statement in Australia in 2022. Well, it's more than controversial, Minister. The claim that variable renewable energy is cheaper contradicts all the available evidence. In every country that's gone down this path, the very opposite has occurred. Even before Russia's invasion of Ukraine, energy prices had risen between 60% and 100% in Britain and Germany since renewable energy investment began in earnest at the start of the century. In Australia, energy prices fell for 60 years until the start of the renewable industry. Now they're rising. Why? Because variable renewable energy can't be incorporated into the grid without expensive new infrastructure, like transmission, backup power from hydrocarbons and storage.